اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.
نحمده ونسلم على رسوله الكريم. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم. صدق الله العلي العظيم. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله تعالى عنه قال: ما رأيت شيئا أحسن من رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وأصحابه وبارك وسلم. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وصحابك يا شفيع المذنبين. All praises are due to Allah Ta'ala. Choices of blessings, durood and salams we convey upon our noble messenger Hazrat Sayyidina Muhammadur Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Respected elders, brothers, friends, mothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This morning I was speaking to my colleague Moulana Tawfiq. He said, Moulana, what do we speak about today? And he gave me an idea. He says, why don't you speak about the hulya, the physical appearance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I thought about it, and I said to myself, inshallah, just 20 minutes will not do justice to this topic. We can maybe explain about one important point or hadith mubarakah about some aspect of the physical appearance of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Since this is the month of Rabiul Awwal, Rabiul Sherif. But before I give you that narration, inshallah, the social media has been bombarded by, when it comes to Rabiul Awwal Sherif, when it comes to the aspect of Milaad Sherif, and our youngsters that are seated here, either you're on the Instagram or on the Facebook, on the WhatsApp, whatever the case may be. And lots of things are being said and being told. I was just reading one small little clip where, again, not only this year, but every second year or every year, some mufti from Saudi got something to say about Milaad Sherif. And again, they had something to say. So the Raza Academy of India has written some letter to the Ministry of Religious Affairs in Saudi. But how can the Mufti say something like this with regards to Milad, that it lacks certain academic, etc., etc. And I read these things and I see all these things and I just ask myself, what is going on? Haven't the people up till today, are they burning inside with regards to Milaad Sherif? And there's some few questions that's coming. And one of the famous questions they're asking our youngsters, that you people celebrating Milaad Sherif, Milaadun Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, this Milaadun Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam that you celebrate, ye kaha likha hai? Where is this written? And we say, you know what? The Muftiyan-e-Ikram, the Ulama-e-Ikram, the Mashayikh-e-Ikram have went so much resources, so much of research, they have proven time and again. The Jummahs do not, it's exhausting to keep on giving proofs. And I came up to this suggestion and said, And I'm saying this, perhaps maybe the other ulama echo the same sentiment I echo. And when somebody asks you, O Muslims, O Sunni Muslims, कि ये मिलाद शरीफ कहाँ लिखा है, तो सीधी सी जवाब उनको देना चाहिए. So you give them one straight answer. It is written, वो मिलाद शरीफ मनाना मेरी किस्मत में लिखा है. मेरी किस्मत में लिखा है. It is written in my destiny, it is written in my fate that I would live by Milad, I will celebrate Milad, and I will die in the state of the celebration of Milad. अच्छा, ये जो कहाँ लिखा है, you know, this is a very important question. People are asking, ये कहाँ लिखा है? तो we also, you see, the Sunni Muslims of today, they follow in the footsteps of Sahaba Ikram. And the same question we ask in Sahaba Ikram, that Urwa bin Mas'ud was delegated by the tribe of Quraysh to go to Hudaybiyah and go and see what is the Sahaba, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ doing in Hudaybiyah. He bring back one report to us. And when Urwa bin Mas'ud goes, listen carefully, my brothers. ये जो कहाँ लिखा है ना, where is it written? You'll be getting answer now, inshallah. When Urwa bin Mas'ud goes there, he sees that the Sahaba Ikram, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, in their love for Rasul, they encircle him, they are around him. You know, when you see in a dark night, and suddenly you put on light on, and you see the butterflies going around that light. Because dunya is in darkness, but the Prophet is light. And the Sahaba Ikram are like those butterflies that are gathering around him. And this Urwa bin Mas'ud says that they encircle him and they gather around him and they assemble with him. When the Prophet ﷺ takes out his Mubarak sputum from his mouth, his Mubarak lu'ab bahan, his Mubarak saliva, when he just takes it out from his sacred mouth, Urwa bin Mas'ud says that they gather around him, they do not allow a certain drop of that saliva to come onto the ground. They all stretch open their hands in order that a part of the sputum Mubarak of Rasulullah comes into their hands. And they take it, they rub it on their faces. When the Prophet ﷺ, he performs his wudu, his ablutions, they also gather around him. And when he washes the parts of his face, or the parts of his nose, or the parts of his hands, then too they will never allow a single drop of that wudu water to fall on the floor. Abhi ek sawal hai, question is, ke o Sahaba, where did you learn to do this? Which book did you read? Did the Prophet ﷺ say that you must gather around the Prophet ﷺ and collect my saliva Mubarak and collect my water Mubarak and collect this? So ye kahan likha hai? Where is this written, my brothers and friends? It is written in the inner dimensions and the depths of the hearts of the Sahaba Ikram. For their intense love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is not written in any books. It is not written in any book the Sahabi have to study to say that you cannot do this and you can eat their love that they had in the inner depth of their hearts for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second thing we hear, my brothers and friends, before I go on to the physical description, inshallah, very quickly, one of the things that people are saying, and this is filth that is coming out of their mouths, those people who are always speaking against Maulud al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's the same clause, it's the same statement that I'm giving to our youngsters. Maulud al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam jaiz, na jaiz hai, bidat hai, shirk hai, ye hai, wo hai, all stupid things they say. Impermissibility, this is not acceptable. Why we're celebrating? So it is a very simple way. The youngsters, you need to answer questions today. You don't need to go and study a whole thick books to give answer like this. You need to be very, very diplomatic. You have to be very, very cautious. You have to be very, very straightforward as well. They say that it is najais, impermissible, this and that about celebration of Mawlud al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So tell the brother, please come and sit down. And tell him perhaps maybe you need to wash your mouth with rose water or zamzam water. You ask why? He said, be careful what you say about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Be careful what you are saying about his sacred birthday. Then he says, what do you mean? Tell him, ask him, tell me, if someone reads Quran, Moulana Tawfiq reads Quran, for example. If one reads Quran, is this acceptable or not acceptable? He said, no, it's acceptable. Jaiz hai. Acha. Somebody reads Quran, verses from Quran, whether it's 5 verses or 10 verses, is it acceptable? He said, no, it's acceptable. Okay, tell me something. If somebody reads in the seerah of the Prophet, he speaks about his manners, he speaks about his mu'jizat, he speaks about his greatness, he speaks about his etiquettes of dealing with the poor and needy in the form of na'at and praises. Is this acceptable? He says, why not? It's acceptable. Darul Zakaria, Darul Azad, we're teaching the books, mannerism of the Prophet about his eating habits, how he used to be generous, how he used to be this. We're teaching it there. So we are saying it in the form of the na'at. Is this acceptable? No, it's acceptable. To praise the Prophet, is it acceptable? It is acceptable. Why is it acceptable? Because Allah has commanded us in the Quran, إِنَّ اللَّهَ وَمَلَائِكَتَهُ يُصَلُّونَ عَلَى النَّبِيِّ. The Iman Walo, Allah and His angels are praising the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You too, you got Iman, you praise the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he says, Gigi, no, I accept. Then tell me some alim stands up and he speaks about the greatness of the Prophet ﷺ, about his physical being. Or he speaks about the wives, Ummahatul Mu'mineen. He speaks about Bibi Halima. He speaks about the greatness of the father of Sayyid Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He speaks about the splitting of the moon. He speaks about the mannerism of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He speaks about the habits of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Do you find anything difficult and najais in this? He said, no, this is very important. I said, to Nadan, this is what actually happens in the Mahfil Milaad al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is the actual scene that is happening in the Milad. We recite the verses from the Quran. We recite the na'at of the praises of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we speak about the greatness of the person and personality of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How dare then you say this is najais haram? My brothers and friends, it just needs some explanation. Having said this, we're speaking about the so-called mufti that took out a fatwa now just recently from Saudi Arabia. And I just mentioned before you, some of the brothers came. The Raza Academy from India, Mumbai, sent a written fatwa for that mufti to retract. We are asking a simple question like this. Why when it comes to Milaad al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then this burning sensation of those people who are negators and opposers of the Milaad al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and a place like Saudi Arabia, why don't you take fatwa out on bin Salman? Who's going to intercede for you on the day of Qiyamah, we ask you? Who's going to make shafaat for you? Who's going to intercede for you in your qabr? Bin Salman is not coming inside your qabr. Your and my beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam is going to be inside our qabr. My respected elders and friends, you've got time to take out fatwa and write from the Saudi regime, approved by the Ministry of Religious Affairs of Saudi about Milaad Sherif. Why don't you take a fatwa that your bin Salman, Muhammad bin Salman, who is the king of Saudi, that is allowing casinos, that is allowing gambling, that is allowing movie houses, that he's allowing alcohol to be served in the kingdom, that he's allowing superstars to come and show their semi-naked bodies and dance in front of everybody. Where is your fatwa now? But you want to talk about the fatwa of celebration of Milaad Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? Do you think bin Salman is going to intercede for you in the qabr? Think wisely that your Habib, he is going to intercede for us in the qabr as well. And if you're a Ashiq Rasul and if you love Milad, inshallah, through the barakah of Milad, inshallah, you'll be going to Jannah. My brothers and friends, respected elders, last point about the Milaad Sherif of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. I recited one hadith in Mubarakah, when Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu says, "Ma ra'aytu shay'an ahsana min Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam." What is the meaning of this hadith in Mubarakah? Sayyidina Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala is one of those mustanid, acceptable, acknowledged, and most authentic Sahaba Ikram close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he's mentioning this. Ma ra'aytu, I have not seen shay'an, anything. He did not say I did not see anyone. He said I did not see anything. There's a difference. He said I did not see anything. Ahsana min Rasulillahi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, more beautiful than that of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How beautiful is the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Very, very quickly. One day, Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he went for a little safe visit out of the outskirts of Medina. He went. And when Huzur alayhi salatu wasallam went for this safe, he found himself in a place where a man was standing, and he was selling a beautiful red camel. What kind of camel? Red camel. Surh, red camel. And we all know, my brothers and friends, during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, that the sale of red camels is something which was very, very expensive. Very expensive. So the Prophet ﷺ looked at this camel, looked at the characteristics, looked at the features of the camel, and Huzur alayhi sallam fell in love with this camel. He loved this camel, he liked this camel. So he told the owner of this camel, I want to buy this camel. I want to purchase this camel, I want to buy it. So they started to talk and make an agreement as far as the price of the camel is concerned. Huzur alayhi salatu wasalam accepted, acknowledged whatever the seller was selling the camel for. Like Huzur alayhi salam told him, look, I did not come out with the intention to come do buying and selling. I just came out to come visit. I don't have money with me now. माँ मेरे पास इस वक्त नहीं है. I don't have in my jab, I don't have in my pockets. Can I take it on ubhar, on loan? I'll take it with me and I'll send someone with the money for the payment of this camel. That person doesn't know this is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because he's in the outskirts of Medina. It's not inside Medina, it's on the outskirts of the Medina. And this buyer, he does not know that he's dealing with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So that buyer says, no problem, take it, go, and then you send the money whenever you can. So, as Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he took the camel and he was going, he was leaving. The seller, he was looking in the distance how Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was walking. He was mesmerized and he was so intensified on the nur that was on him. He did not ask, what is your name? Aap kahan se hai? Aapka pata kya hai? Where do you stay? What is your address? Where do you come from? What is your name? He did not ask all that. And he went away. And when he went away, he could not see anymore. One or two people came and surrounded this person because red camel, remember I said you red camel is very expensive. If somebody goes to one of the dealerships here, I'm talking about for our understanding, not in comparison, for our understanding. I said, Rafiq Bhai, could buy me a Porsche. And Rafiq Bhai go to one of the dealers and he doesn't sign any papers and this, and the guy gives the key. Rafiq Bhai drives the Porsche out. Khalas, he's made bonus for himself. It doesn't happen in South Africa anyway. But we understand something here. That he took the red camel and he was gone. So these two people came and they said, you sold a camel on udhar, on loan. Neither did you ask the person what is his name, because we don't know that person. You do not ask him his pata, his address, where does he come from, where does he stay. And you gave him the camel on udhar, on loan. If there was a dealing with cash, money, then there's no need to ask him who's his name, where he comes from, what's his address, etc., etc. But you took it on udhar, on loan, and you never ask him his name, where he stays. What is wrong with you? So the seller says, what can I tell you? What can I express to you? That when the words came out of his mouth, when the words had come out of his mouth, they were so beautiful words. They were so loving words that I was intoxicated with the love that came out of his mouth. The next person said, you are right. He was such a beautiful personality that when we were looking at his Zulf Mubarak, I was not staring at his eyes, I was not staring at his ears, but the beauty of his Zulf Mubarak was moving from side to side. I got intoxicated with his Zulf Mubarak. The third person said, oh, you said about his beautiful words that came out. You speaking about his Zulf Mubarak. When I was looking at his eyes were so radiant and so powerful that I also fell in love with his eyes. I too often don't recall about asking about his name and where does he come from. So they're having this discussion, but now how are you going to get your money back? Perhaps it's gone, you won't get it. So they came across that perhaps that it's taken away, it cannot be returned. Not far away there is a little tent. And there's a lady that hears this conversation. And when she hears that they are trying to make an accusation that he took the camel without paying, the lady said from the tent that Khabardar, that beware if anybody speaks about that personality that had come. I want to be the one who takes the responsibility and be the guarantor, the zamin. I am going to take responsibility. So they said, please remove the tent, let us see who you are. She removed slightly, she said, that I am taking responsibility and being the guarantor. They asked, do you know him? The person who took the camel away, do you know him? He says, I don't know him. But the beauty and the nuraniyat on his face is a face which tells me that he will never talk a lie. He will never speak a lie. So she became the guarantor. And as they're having this conversation, 2-3 people come and they ask, who is that person? Who is that person that sold that red camel to our beloved Sarkar Ibrahim sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And they come, they say, we are the khadims of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they bring a small little gift, kajub, a little bit kajub, and they bring some money. They say, this is a gift from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. See how beautiful the Prophet is. He takes a loan from him. How many of us in this day and age, my brother, my sister gives me a loan, example. I'm in a financial difficulty. I'm talking about this day and age. My brother helped me with 500 rand. When I was desperate, Rafiq helped me with 1,000 rand because I did not have petrol to go somewhere. He said, Moulana, there's 1,000 rand. Put it in your car. When you get money, give it to me back. The Prophet ﷺ is teaching us a universal message here. He took it on udar. He took it on loan. He sent not only the money back, but the Prophet ﷺ, with the money, he sent a gift back to the person that he took the loan from. box of khajurs, little bit khajur. When they received the khajur, they received a smile with the khajur on their face. And then they said that the Prophet ﷺ returned the money for the red camel. What do you say? They say, leave the money, leave all this. We want to go to that personality whose face is so beautiful. We want to receive the gift and we want to receive the wealth of Iman. Leave this wealth, we want to get the wealth of Iman from him. And this entire entourage goes with those khadims to Moulana Sherif, the city of Medina, and they come to the Prophet ﷺ. And each and every single one of them, they recited the kalima and received the wealth of Iman from the Prophet ﷺ himself. My brothers and friends, respected elders, this is only one narration I gave, the Hulya Mubarak of Rasulullah ﷺ. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always give us the tawfiq and the hidayah to connect ourselves to the Prophet ﷺ, to follow his ways, to follow his mannerism, to follow his sunnah, inshallah, so that we will become successful not only in this world, inshallah, but in the hereafter. وَمَا عَلَيْنَا إِلَّا الْبَلَاغُ الْمُبِينُ.
الله الله